Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ashok. This video is the part of Vlocity Omnistudio interview preparation series where I already have created multiple videos which covers questions related to data raptors and integration procedures. So if you want to learn those questions, then check out the link in description. And today in this video, we will discuss questions related to Flexcards. Okay. So let's start with today's first question. That is, what is Flexcard? So as we have discussed in first part, that Flexcards are the part of digital experience layer and help us to design custom UI with only point and clicks. And in Flexcards, there are many built-in controls available like action, block, chart, data table, text and many others. So using these controls, we can design custom rich UI in very short time and without writing single line of code. And we can use these Flexcards in App Builder or Experience Cloud after activating because it gets converted into LWC component. And in Publish options, we can configure where we want to use it like app page, home page, record page or community. Okay. Now next we have what all data sources we can use in Flexcards. So data source means from where you will get data to show in Flexcards. And in Flexcards, we have many options to use as a data source. So let's see one by one. First is SQL query. So we can directly write SQL query as a data source in a Flexcard. Like whatever data we want to show into the Flexcard. For that, we can directly write query in the Flexcard itself by selecting SQL query data source. Next we have SOSL search. So we can also directly write SOSL search query in Flexcard. And using Apex remote, we can directly call Apex method into Flexcard. Next we have Apex REST. So using this option, we can call any REST endpoint of Apex class in Flexcard. And next we have data raptor. So using this option, we can directly call any data raptor in Flexcard. Next we have REST. So if you want to read data from external system in Flexcard, then you can use this option. So in this case, you don't have to go into the integration procedure or in Apex. You can directly call external API from this option in Flexcard. And in Flexcards, we can also call integration procedure using this option. Next we have streaming API. So we can also subscribe a streaming API in Flexcards. So if anything get posted in that streaming API, then we can show that update in Flexcard directly. Next we have custom. So if you want to use any custom temporary JSON as a data source, then we can use this option. Okay. So we have all these options to select as a data source in Flexcard. So in nutshell, in Flexcard, we can show data from Salesforce database, from external system, and also we can read data from Apex. Okay. Now next we have, can we get data from multiple data sources in Flexcards? So I think this is not possible in Flexcard. I mean, we can set up only one data source, but if you want to get data from multiple data sources, like you want to get data from Salesforce database and from external system both, then we can use integration procedure, because in integration procedure, we can add multiple steps. So we can call and get data from Salesforce and external system in integration procedure. Then finally, we can call that integration procedure in Flexcards. Okay. Now next we have what all display elements we have in Flexcards. So let me show you that in my org. So this is my demo Flexcard, and in this build tab, you will see a display section, and here we have many elements to design our Flexcard. And first we have action. So we can say this is kind of a button which can help us to perform many operations like launch or update an Omni script, navigate to a web page or application, and to display a model pop-up, and many other operations we can perform using this action. Okay. And next we have block. So if you want to combine logical group of elements in single collapsible container, for example, you want to show user address details with collapsible option. So end user can show or hide them as required. So in this case, you can use block. Next we have chart. So if you want to show Flexcard data as a chart, then we can use this element. And next we have custom LWC. So using this element, we can call LWC components inside Flexcard. And LWC component can be a published Omniscript or Flexcard or any custom LWC component. So if you have a requirement to reuse any Omniscript or Flexcard, then we can call them using this element. Or if you have a requirement that cannot be done or difficult to implement using point and clicks, then we can create a custom LWC component and call that here. Okay. Now next we have data table. So if you want to show data in tabular format, then this is very useful and quicker option. So we can show table by just doing few configurations. Okay. And next we have field. So this is used to show output of a data field. I mean, let's say you have an account name property in data source response. Now if you want to show that, then you can use this element. Okay. Now next we have Flexcard. So this is used to call a child Flexcard. And if you want to show any icon on Flexcard, then we can use this icon element. And similarly, image element is used to show image. And here using this image element, we can upload new image or select any existing image as well from content. Okay. Next we have menu. So this is used to show a list of actions as a drop down menu. I mean, let's say you want to show multiple actions. Now if you will create different buttons, then it will take extra space. But if you want to save space on UI, then you can use menu element. Okay. Now next we have state. So this is very important element in Flexcards, and this is used when we want to show completely different UI on some conditions. Then we can create multiple states. For example, let's say you are showing accounts list in your Flexcard, but you want to show a message no records found when nothing is there in data source response. Then to achieve this, state is the best way. So what you can do, you can just drag and drop this state element here and just give the name of state here. And using these options, you can add visibility condition for this state. And one more checkbox we have here, blank card state. So once we'll check it, then if nothing is there in data source response, then this state will be visible. Okay. And in every Flexcard, there will be a default state. And additionally, we can add multiple steps with visibility conditions. Okay. And at last we have text. So this is also one of the important element which provide us a rich text editor. It is something like what you see, what you get editor, in which we have many options for text editing and formatting. So this gives us an additional benefit to design our UI as per requirement without writing any code. Okay. So these all are the display elements in Flexcards. Okay. Now next we have what will happen if multiple states meet visibility criteria in Flexcard. Okay. So as we have discussed that we can have multiple states in Flexcard and only one state can be visible or active at a time. So to control visibility, we generally add condition using some fields. But let's say we forgot to add condition or condition is true for multiple states, then what will happen? So in this case, it will start looking from top to bottom. So whoever first state meets the criteria or does not have criteria will be visible. So whenever you are going to define orders for states, then keep this thing in mind. Okay. Now next we have, can we use Flexcards into another Flexcards? Then we can say yes, we can call, but we can call only those Flexcards which are marked as child. I mean, when we are going to create a Flexcard, at the time we have a checkbox, is child card. So if we have checked that checkbox, then only we can use that Flexcard as a child into another Flexcard using Flexcard element. Okay. Now next we have how to pass data from parent Flexcard to child Flexcard. So now we have seen that we can call Flexcard into another Flexcard. But let's say we want to send data from parent to child Flexcard. Then what are the available ways for that? Okay. So here we have two ways to pass data from parent to child Flexcard. First is using data node and another is using attributes. So let me show you that in org. And let me drag and drop a Flexcard element and select any sample Flexcard here. So I have selected this sample case Now you can see a data node option here. So from here you can specify what you want to send to child. So if you want to send everything what you have in this Flexcard, then you can select records here. Records means everything will be passed to child Flexcard. And let's say you are working with a list, or you are showing a list in this Flexcard and you want to pass only current item with child element, then you can select record. And also you can pass a particular index as well, like you want to send only first item or you want to send only third item, then you can specify that one also here. Okay, so this is the one option, like using data node. And you can see attributes here. So using this attribute also we can pass data from parent Flexcard to child Flexcard. Okay, so here we need to specify the attribute name and here we need to specify value. Okay, so these are two ways to pass data from parent Flexcard to child Flexcard. Now next we have how to access data in child Flexcard which are passed from parent Flexcard. Okay, so as we have discussed, there are two ways to pass data from parent to child Flexcard. So if we are going to pass data with data node, then we can access it with field name directly, because whatever data we are passing from this data node, that will become data source in child Flexcard. So we can directly access data using field or property name. And if we are going to pass data as an attribute, then we can access that with parent.attribute name. Okay. Now next we have how to use data source response in child Flexcard if we are passing data from parent Flexcard with data node. So when we get data from any data source, then that data will available in records property in Flexcards. And as we have discussed in last question, that whatever data we are sending from parent component with data node, then that will become data source. I mean records property will be updated with parent Flexcard data. So if you have set up data source on child Flexcard and also we are passing data from parent Flexcard, then how we can access child Flexcard data source response? Then answer will be no, because child Flexcard data source will be overridden by whatever we have sent from parent Flexcard. So if we are passing data from parent Flexcard using data node, then child Flexcard data source will be overridden and we can't use their own data source response. Okay. Now next question we have how to pass data from child Flexcard to parent Flexcard. Then we can say we can pass data from child Flexcard to parent Flexcard using action. Though I never tried this approach, but in action type we have an option card and we can perform certain operations with that card, like reload, remove, set value and update data source. So using set value option we can send data from child Flexcard to parent Flexcard. So in nutshell, using actions we can pass data from child Flexcard to parent Flexcard. Okay. Now next we have, can we call LWC component in Flexcards? So this we have already discussed, that we can call LWC components in Flexcard using custom LWC element, and how we can do communication between these components, that we will discuss in separate part. I will create a separate video which covers questions related to LWC plus Omnistudio tools. Okay. Now next we have how to get current record ID in Flexcard. So after activating our Flexcard, it become LWC component and we can use that LWC component in record pages as well if we have configured in options. Now the question is how to get current record ID in that Flexcard. So in Flexcards there is a reserved key record ID. So once we'll call our Flexcard in record page, and if you want to get current record ID, then using this record ID key we can access current record ID. Okay. Now next we have what is the use of session variables in Flexcard. So we can say session variables help us to declare a variable to access common value globally on Flexcard. For example, let's say you want to get data from third-party API in Flexcard and you want to pass API key there, and also you are using that API key at multiple places in that Flexcard. Then in setup menu we have an option to add session variables. So we can create a session variable for API key, and using merge field we can access that session variable like session.variable name, Okay. Now next we have what is the use of exposed attributes in Flexcard. So if you want to create public properties in Flexcards which can be accessed from outside, like from wherever we are calling this Flexcard. For example, let's say we want to use Flexcard on home page, and while adding this Flexcard on home page, you want to give an option to an admin to set some values. Those can be accessed in Flexcard. Then we can create exposed attributes. And to understand it better, let's discuss an example. Let's say you are going to create a Flexcard that will show top 10 accounts list, but you want to make it a little dynamic and want to give an option to an admin so they can configure how many top accounts they want to show instead of 10. Then we can achieve this functionality in Flexcards using exposed attributes. Like what we can do, we can create an exposed attribute number of accounts and assign default value to 10, and we can access this attribute value using session merge field, like session and number of accounts, and use the same merge field in SQL query. Now after activating this Flexcard, it will convert it into LWC component, and this exposed attribute will get converted into target property. So in App Builder UI, admin will get an option to set value there. Okay. So I think that's it for this video, in which we have seen questions related to Flexcards and some questions related to Flexcard and LWC we will cover in separate video. And in next part, we will discuss questions related to Omniscripts. And if you like this video, then please subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you in next video.